Hi, welcome to episode 111 of the Passionate Spinner podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffelt here on Ravelry and Instagram. There's a Ravelry group for the podcast. Please come over, join. Thank you so much for being here and for returning, if you are returning. I'm sick, so I sound a bit weird, and I might have to blow my nose in between. But as I don't know how to edit anything, we all have to just make it work. I'm sorry. It's just what it is. So what I'm wearing today, I'm wearing the Molly top. I finished this last week. I'm going to talk about it a bit later, but that's what I'm wearing. I'm going to show it later. So knitting in the past, I don't have anything because I'm not wearing the brace right now. I should be. I should wear it like several times a day to just make sure that I don't do too much stuff. But I shouldn't wear it all day because that weakens my wrist. So yeah, I didn't knit as much as I wanted to because first of all, my wrist did hurt, and second of all, I'm sick. So I do have stuff to show, but it's not as much as I had hoped I would have to show. So for knitting in the present, I'm still working on the same stuff. I have the Tabular by Maya and it is this sweater here from Pom Pom magazine number 23. It's a sweater on the cover, and I think that there isn't really a good picture. Oh well, here's a picture of what it should look like. Mine, I think, is going to be a bit longer. I hope, at least. I finished the front. I showed it last time, I think, and I'm in the middle of a row on the back because I was knitting on this yesterday when I went to the doctor. So this is what it looks like. And I know it doesn't look like a lot, but this rolls. So I do have a lot done already. And this is knit on a 3mm needle with a light fingering weight alpaca yarn. So the sweater is going to be very warm because it's alpaca, but it's a 3mm needle. So this takes forever. I am now on skein number 2 of my yarn. This is Drachenwolle. It's 100% alpaca that I bought years and years ago, and I do not have a label for it. So yeah, that's what this is. Oh, here these are. I need those later. And I just parked it in one of my Holland Handmakes bags because I needed a small bag that I just can shove in my handbag, in my purse. So yeah, it's in here. And as it's just stockinette, straight up with no shaping right now, that was perfect. So that's the first thing I'm working on, the Tabular by Maya Müller. The other thing is the Mania cardigan, and I have it here in this basket that I bought to, have another basket for a sweater project. So this is the cardigan that I'm knitting. It's the Mania cardigan by Stephen West. It's an interesting shape, it's an interesting construction, and it's so much fun. So this is the yarn I'm working with. I wound 6 full skeins of yarn and used a bunch of leftovers in my color scheme. I decided to go with green, brown, and orange as my colors, and this is what it looks like so far. So I'm going to put my hands here through the... Can you see? I mean, this is going to be gorgeous. I'm so happy with this. I took some pictures yesterday and put them up on Instagram where you can actually see the colors. But yes, this is so gorgeous. So this is the collar, and you knit the collar with a strand of fingering weight yarn and a fuzzy stuff yarn. I chose Drops Alpaca Silk, Brushed Alpaca Silk, I think is the name. And because I can't do mohair. Mohair and me, we do not mix. So yeah, this is where I am. It's a lot of fun. I want to knit on this all the time. So what I'm doing to make things easier for my hands as well, because this is knit on a 5mm needle. That's a US 8 using 2 strands of sock yarn. The other sweater's on a US 2.5. That's a 3mm. And I have these starter projects in different spaces in my house. So this is upstairs in the reading room where I spend my evenings. So I knit on this in the evening with the thicker needles. And when I knit downstairs in the living room during the day, I have stuff on smaller needles, so I can change it up, so make it a bit easier on my hands. But yeah, that is the Mania cardigan, and I am so happy with it. It's just, it's a joy to work on. I love it. And then I started a new project this week. It lives in my little duck bag that my husband brought me back from a work trip. And it is the Rose by Andrea Mowry. And I'm going to try to find a picture. Here it is. Oh, it's this one here. It's an interesting construction. And of course, mine is going to be very wild in color. Hers is very subtle. It's a faded design. Some people have done it in a solid. I'm doing a fade as well. Her version has 4 colors. Mine has 7. I first thought I could get away with 6 colors, but it won't be enough. So I have to use 7. They're all from my stash, and that is why it's so colorful. But I just don't want to buy yarn when I have something that I can use, you know? So here it is. This is the first piece that I'm working on right now. And here you can see the colors. All of these are Cardigan Jitterbug, except for the last one that I just added in. This over here that has a bit more of the mustardy yellow is a different yarn that I'm not sure what it is right now. But this is knit on a US 3, no, it's a US 5, a 3.75. I went up a needle size from the pattern, and I think that was a good idea. So this is the yarn I'm working on right now. And it is, what is it? It's Serendipity Sport by Zen String. I think I got this on a T-stash. I usually, when I talked about this the first time, I said my husband brought me back this yarn, and it is a sport red, and I was kind of miffed. But actually he didn't. I got it myself because it's from a sock club, and I got it on T-stash, I'm pretty sure. So this is the color I'm working with right now. It's color number 5. So my colors 1 up was this blue. That's Cardigan Jitterbug. And I have all the, I took off all the labels, and I added a little piece of yarn from the skein so I know what it is. So this one here is colorway number, it's colorway J, like a blue jay, I think, like a bird. Then color number 2 is this one here, and it's called Caramel. I do not know why, but that's the name. Color number 3 is Frangipane, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is. It's my favorite colorway from PassioKnit. They are a Welsh-based dyeing business. I do not know if they still exist because I had my PassioKnit stash for a long time. Then this here was color number 4, and it is Toscana. I can see that. Now I'm working on the Serendipity Sport, this one here, and then I have 2 more. I had to get 1 more. So this was supposed to be my last color, and I wanted to use this one for the collar that's going to be knit on, and that's another Jitterbug in the colorway Morocco. But I'm going to run out of yarn, so I have to add in another color. And the only color I could find that would go with this and is still kind of a sport weight is this skein of Socks That Rock Lightweight. It's a leftover from a different project. I have no idea what colorway it is. But now my problem is, will I use this one for the collar, or will I use this one for the collar like I intended to do? If I use this one, my cardigan will end up being way darker because it goes all the way around. Or will I use this one? Because this would fade into that one actually quite nice. Whereas this, I'm not so sure. So I think I'm going to use this here as my last color in the actual pieces of the sweater. And then add this one as the collar. This cardigan is way more work than I had intended, actually. I wanted to just, you know, have an easy project to work on, and now I have to do a way more thinking than I had intended to, considering that the pattern has already been written by someone, you know, who did all the thinking. So yeah, I'm not sure if that made sense at all to you, but I'm working on the rose cardigan, and I'm doing that as a mini knit along with my friend Sandra and Ellie from a German podcast called Verstrickt und Zugenäht, and also Nikki, and I think she has a podcast as well called Nikki's Nadelzauber. I'm not sure, but yeah, we're doing a mini knit along, and now I have to blow my nose. I'm so sorry, but it has to happen. Oh, I hate having a cold. I have no idea where all of that snot is coming from. Maybe my head is empty all the time and it's just where it accumulates. So yeah, if you have knit the rose cardigan, you know what I'm talking about. If not, I will explain it a bit more when I have more pieces and I can really show you what I'm talking about, because this just didn't make sense at all. I'm sorry. So, knitting in the future. I still want to start the So Day cardigan by Hiroko Payne. It was in the last issue of Len magazine. It's the gorgeous cabled cardigan coat thingy. I have the yarn ready. I have the pattern ready. Just my head isn't working right now. And up until today, Tim was home. He was home all of last week because he was sick. And he was home like until today. And with a toddler around that doesn't want to do anything but sit on mommy's lap, there was just no way of me starting a complicated sweater. Because when it's started, you know, it's going to be not that complicated. It's just cables. You follow a chart and everything's fine. But I have to get it started. And therefore, I need a braid that works and not one that's covered in snot. So it has to wait a bit. And then I want to knit no frills-ish sweater and cardigan. I looked at these patterns. They're by PassioKnit, the no frills cardigan and the no frills pullover. And I like them. I like the idea. It's basically a skein of fingering weight yarn held together with a mohair lace weight. And like I said, I can't do mohair. So what I did is I decided on 2 yarns that I really like for a sweater, and I ordered the Drops Alpaca Silk to go with it. But I will not buy these 2 patterns because they are both top-down raglan stockinette stitch. And I do have patterns for this. I am going to use the long line cardigan for the cardigan version and add some pockets and reduce the collar width. And for the pullover version, I'm going to use the Go-To Raglan by Stephen West, or the Flex, or the Nook. All of these that I have, because like I just said, it's just a top-down stockinette stitch raglan. I could also use my Anne Butt handy book of top-down sweaters or something like this. So if you do not already own a pattern, you go buy the patterns by PassioKnit. They are wonderful. But I own enough patterns for this style of sweater in this weight that I'm not going to invest in a new pattern, because it just doesn't make sense to buy a pattern that I already have 5 versions of. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't have spinning because I didn't want to. I have some new stuff. Oh no, I have a lot of new stuff. I have the new Making magazine. It's issue number 6. The theme is black and white. And yes, there's some sun coming in here. This is gorgeous. Making magazine has always been wonderful, and this especially has some beautiful patterns in it. And I got it for one specific sweater, but I decided, since I got it, that I like most of the things in here. So, oh, where is it? Why can I never find the things that I'm looking for? So I do like this one here a lot. It's another cabled sweater, but I bought it for this sweater here. It's a colorwork yoke sweater, and I love it. It's very, very pretty. It's called Tree Light, and it's by Jennifer Steingass, who is Knit Love Wool, I think. And she does colorwork yoke sweaters. That's her thing. So yeah, I have this one. It's beautiful. If you do not have Making Magazine, you should look one up and get one because they are beautiful. Then I received a wonderful package in the mail from my wonderful friend Trish. Trish, I'm going to write you a message after I finish recording, but she got me a little bit of Rhinebeck swag, and she got me some buttons and a tapestry needle to weave in the ends. And oh my god, I saw what you paid for shipping for these. That's insane. If I spent that much money, I can send you a big parcel. So I got the I'm nicer when I knit, which is absolutely true. This sums me up very, very well. Then I got Knitting Takes a Lot of Balls, which is hilarious. And I got the I'm working on my PhD in knitting project half done. And I have lots of those. So thank you, Trish. I can't talk today. I'm sorry. She also got me one of these bent tapestry needles that I love for weaving in ends. So very, very, very wonderful gift. I'm going to put these somewhere. I'm not sure where yet, but they will find a good place. And then I have yarn. I have lots of yarn. I received the Yarn Stories Club package. I'm in their club for the first time. This is my second shipment. And I think Yarn Stories might be one of my absolute favorite diaries. These are so gorgeous. Look at them. They are, the top one is called Polaris. No, Palais. Sorry, it's upside down. So the top one is Palais and the bottom one is Jungle. And they are just gorgeous. So this is my Yarn Stories club. I will have one more, and then this club is going to be over. But it's gorgeous stuff. I love these so much. I'm very happy that I'm in her club. And then I have some yarn from my friend Sandra. First from her personally, and then from her. So, oh no, let me show these two first. These are not from Sandra. These are from my friend Barbara. And I just love them. They are very much my colors. They are tweed. It's a tweed sock yarn. I'm not sure yet what I will do with these, but they are very pretty. They have all the colors of fall in them, which, you know, very me, very me. Now, onto the stuff from my friend Sandra. She decided that she had too much stuff. So she did like a yard sale in her basement where she put out all the things that she wanted to get rid of. And she had it divided in her, you know, her hand-dyed yarn that she just paid for. And the stuff that she wanted to get rid of that was based on what's the word? Which is, you just put money in a jar. And she did give all that money to a charity. So that was a very good cause. And I came away with a lot of stuff. So first of all, I got 4 skeins of her hand-dyed yarn. This is the same colorway on 2 different bases because she didn't have more in this base. So I have these 2 now that I have no idea yet what to do with. But I mean, really, I could not get these. The colorway name is Honigbrot, which means like a honey bread. And this is perfect. And then I got 2 skeins of her single space in the colorway Lila Laune. I cannot translate that. And they look like this. They are lavender with brown speckles. They are gorgeous. I actually considered using these together in a project, but I'm not sure. I don't think I will. But they are amazing. Ooh, I have an idea. I want to knit the Elton by Joji Locatelli. And I had put aside a yarn that is yellow with orange and brown. Gorgeous yarn. Paired with a golden yellow silk lace weight. I think I'm going to swap out the 2 skeins of Cardigan and use these instead with the silk. And do the Elton in this, because then it will be like a solid, semi-solid yellow cardigan. Ooh, I'm going to do that. That's perfect. Yes, yes, that is what I will do. These two, no idea, but they're gorgeous and so soft. It's yeah, it's a single. It's 100% merino. It's gorgeous. So these are the things that I got from her hand-dyed stuff. And then I got a basket full of stuff from her D-stash. And now I have to get rid of these so I can show you what I got. And drink something. I feel like my whole head is dry. Now will you please stop being frozen? That would be so nice. Oh, come on. I cannot continue. Okay, good. Now, here's the things that I got from her D-stash. I got 3 skeins of Junghanswolle, which is like, I'm gonna say, it's like knit picks, but not that cool. It's Saidana. It is a wool, polyamide, and silk blend, and it's a light fingering weight in this smoky dark blue. And it's 3 skeins. And I decided to pair it with these 4 skeins of Holstian in their coast base. That is a wool and cotton blend. So I just think that these 2 colors go really well together. I have stuff on this. I don't care. So yeah, this is going to be some kind of sweater in the future. Then I got these 7 skeins. Is it 7? Is it 6? It's 6 skeins of the light green. It's by BC Garn. It's 100% Tussa silk in this tweedy yarn. And I have 6 in this light spring green. And I have 1 in this dark green. Because I thought if I decide on a pattern and I'm not going to have enough, then this was all she had. So I can use this for cuffs or a, you know, some kind of pattern. So this is going to be enough for a summer sweater for myself. Then I took these 3. They are 100% merino in my favorite yellow. And I also took this one, which I think is one of her hand-dyed yarns. And I'm thinking shawl. This for the body and this for some kind of edge. And then I have 5 skeins of Noro. What are you? Noro Obi. Never heard of that one. That's an Aran weight with all the colors in it, of course, because it's Noro. And I have 5 skeins of this, and I will make a vest for myself, probably with a hood. Maybe, maybe not. So yeah, this is what I got from her D-stash, and I'm just very happy with everything that I got. So yeah, I have lots of new yarn because, you know, I need new yarn like I need a hole in my head, which actually right now would probably help this not come out, but let's not go there. So yes, this is all my new stuff, and I'm very happy with it because it was for a good cause. For reading, listening, watching, I actually read a book yesterday, a whole book. It's this book here. It's called Very Good Lives. It's by J.K. Rowling, or Rowling. I'm never sure if you say it like bowling or not. But it's a commencement speech that she held at Harvard University 10 years ago. And it's 70 pages, but I'm going to show you one of the pages. I mean, this is what it looks like. it has one gigantic illustration and a few words on the other side. So it's actually, if you press it down, it might be 25 pages. So it's not that long. I have to blow my nose again. I'm sorry. I still don't know how to edit stuff, so yeah, I will not learn. Okay, so yes, I read this yesterday night because I know I'm in Germany and I'm far away from stuff. But yesterday were the midterm elections in the US. And, you know, politics, I will not get into politics. But let's just say the current administration is not what I would consider a good one. That's all I'm going to say about this. And if you know me, you know what I think. And if you are a total fan of what's going on right now, then you and I cannot be friends. I'm sorry. So yes, I read this book yesterday because I thought it will be good for my mood of, you know, a little bit of anxiety about what's going on in our world right now. And it's an interesting little book. You know, like I said, it was her commencement speech. Yeah, if you do not read it, you will live. It was interesting to read. Was it worth the like 15 euros that I paid for this book? No. And then after I finished that, it was still very early and I didn't want to knit anymore because I didn't want to hurt my wrist or, you know, overstress my wrist. So I decided to continue reading my actual book right now, which is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. It's the second book in the Six of Crows duology. It looks like this. It's a beautiful cover. I'm that far in. And yeah, it's not gripping me as much as I had hoped. You know, it's not a book that I just cannot stop reading. So I think this is going to take a while for me to finish this. But I like it. I talked about all of my feelings about the first book when I finished that one a few weeks ago. So I still have the same feelings. I'm interested to see how things are going to go down. But yeah, I think now I'm at the point where the whole plot and what's going to happen is established somehow. So we will see what's actually going to happen. I didn't listen to anything. I do have a lot of podcasts downloaded, but as I said, with a sick child, nothing happened over here. And for watching, I started rewatching Supernatural season 3 because I had a day that was just like shit. And I decided I needed a pick-me-up. And I watched the Rabbit Foot episode that I can never remember the actual name of. But if you are a Supernatural fan, or if you watch Supernatural, and I say the Rabbit Foot episode, you know what I mean. And shortly after that one is the Groundhog Day one that I love as well. And then there was, and I also continued to watch until the one where they are trapped in a police station. And I love that one as well. So I had a very good run with my Supernatural watching. And I hope to continue doing that. But, of course, not with Tim around. So I always have to wait until he's fast asleep because Supernatural is quite scary. And he's a 3-year-old toddler. So, yeah, I cannot watch that in, you know, like I used to. And just sit down in the afternoon and keep watching until night. I can't do that anymore. So, now, sewing. I have finished the Molly top and the Molly dress. That's over here. It is a pattern by Sew Over It. It's from her first ebook called City Break. And this is what the pattern looks like in this ebook. So I did both versions. I have made the Molly top several times. And this might be my favorite. This fabric is so nice and so warm. This sweater is perfect. So I'm going to stand up and show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like. It has a curved hem, goes up on the side seam, and the back is a bit lower than the front. It has a dropped shoulder, as you can see, and then the stripes go in a different direction, and it has a attached neckband. I didn't get it to be attached perfectly on the sweater, but it is pretty perfect on the dress because you can't really tell that there's a different piece of fabric up here. So if you are a new sewer and you want to start out with knits, because this is a fabric for this is a pattern for knit fabric, and these are quite heavyweight knits, it's a perfect pattern because it's 4 pattern pieces. You have a front, a back, a sleeve, and a neckband. So you have 5 pieces of fabric that you have to put together. I put everything together on my overlocker because that's what I do for knit fabric, because I have one. But you can also just seam it together on a regular sewing machine with a zigzag stitch. I did twin needling. I did twin needling around here after I attached it, just to make it lay flat, where you put one of your 2 needles in the ditch and the other one just in the main fabric. So you actually sew down your seam allowance. That's what you do. So it will lay nice and flat. And my problem was I didn't have the perfect yellow thread. So this yellow is way more sunshiny yellow than this actual sweater. But I mean, you have to get very close to me to find that out. So that's what I did. I did twin needling for these, but you can also do that with a zigzag stitch. So you do not need an overlocker to make this sweater. It's very, very easy. And I've made it several times now, so I can make the whole thing with cutting out in an hour, I would say. Cut out, put it together on the overlocker. That takes like 15 minutes. And then do the twin needling, which is the part that takes the longest because you actually have to pin stuff and make sure that it looks nice. So yeah, this is the sweater version. This is the dress version. You can see it goes on a bit. It stops right above my knee, which I think is a perfect length for me. I do have pictures up on my Instagram because I wore this on Saturday when we went to my friend's house. And I had decided to wear black tights, this dress. I put on 2 brooches, one vintage one that I got at the flea market a long time ago, and one with 2 little black cats that sit on like a twig. It looks like a twig, which doesn't make sense for a cat, but and I paired it with a red handbag, my new red watch that I bought myself, and red shoes, and I felt great. And this definitely secret pajamas. It is so comfortable and so warm and just so nice and cozy. So yeah, I felt amazing in this. I'm going to wear this a lot, I think. And what I like about it, if I put it with, you know, a pair of chucks, I can totally dress it down. Chucks and some kind of necklace, perfect. But I can absolutely dress it up as well. So this is going to get a lot of wear. Now, for everything else, I have 2 things. I plan on having a VKN this Saturday. That depends on how I feel. Because right now, I'm a bit sick and I do not know how this will turn or not turn until Saturday. So the plan is to have the next VKN on Saturday, the 10th of November, 9 p.m. GMT +1, because we turned the clocks back. So it's GMT +1 again. And yes, that's the plan. I will announce in the Ravelry group, either just put a link where you can find it, or I will write if it doesn't take place, because, you know, I have to do what's best for me. And if I don't feel good on Saturday, I will not have a VKN. I'm sorry. Now for everything else, I have been doing a little bit of mental health talk lately. And I'm not going to do mental health today. I'm just going to talk about an issue or a topic that really affects me right now. So I am a stay-at-home mom. And being a stay-at-home mom in these times is not easy. Because a lot of people look at me with a, so, you don't want to go to work look. And it's not that at all. It's just so much easier to stay home and take care of my child myself than to find someone who I agree with what they do. Because, you know, I have certain ideas how I want to raise my child. And if I need to find someone else to do it for me because I'm going to work, that someone needs to share my ideas on how to raise a child. So that's not easy. Also, I get a lot of, most people don't say stuff to your face. But I actually got one who said, so you don't plan on going to work ever again? Like, yeah, sure. That was my goal from the get-go. Get a child, stay at home. Absolutely. Ugh. Some people are so stupid. It's not that at all. No, it's not. I just want to take care of my son myself because, I am in the wonderful position that I can stay at home and take care of my child. So why wouldn't I? And I get a lot of looks from people who don't know me long enough that basically say, so you just got a guy that earns a lot of money so you can stay home. No, I didn't. I got a student who didn't go to work or to college because it's a sunshiny day. Why should I leave my house for college if I can go do something nice? Or, oh, it's snowing. I'd rather go skiing. Or, So when we both started out, we had nothing except for a bunch of student loans. And it drives me crazy that people just assume stuff about us and about how we were born in this privileged life that we are able to lead to have right now, because we both worked our asses off to get where we are. And people just don't ask those questions, They don't ask you how you got where you are. They just see where you are and decide how your life must have been so far. And that is something that affects me a lot. And it's not really good for my mental health, basically, because yeah, I get so much shit thrown my way because I'm a stay-at-home mom and my poor husband has to work to support the family. Well, no, I can just, I can start working whenever I want to, and then I will be able to support the family because I made sure I had a good education. But I decided to stay at home. I also get a lot of looks from, I'm not going to say feminists because I don't really like what people associate with that word. But I get a lot of look from modern women looking at me like, we don't live in the 50s anymore. You don't have to stay at home and take care of your family. Guess what? I know that because I'm not that stupid, I'm a bit smart sometimes. So I don't understand why it's so hard for people to just understand that I made a conscious decision to stay at home and take care of my family instead of going to work and pay someone else to take care of my family. Why is that so hard to understand for people? I'm not sure if that is a very German thing, that headspace, or not. Maybe you from other places can tell me, but I often feel like I'm being looked down at. Like people look down at me for staying at home and doing what I do. So yeah, that is just something that bugs the crap out of me, and I just don't know what to do about it. I'm trying to ignore people who are stupid about this, but sometimes it really gets me. And, and my poor husband, like every half year I say to him, maybe I should go back to work because, other people, and he always just looks at me like, oh God, please stop talking. You drive me crazy with your talking, because we do talk about this stuff. We make decisions together, and considering everything that's going on in my husband's work life and considering my job when I go to work and how that is working out, if I went back to work, I would get enough money with a part-time position to pay for my child's daycare, or for the person who has to take care of him while I'm at work. And that just doesn't really make sense to me. So I'd rather just stay home and take care of my son myself instead of having to pay for someone else and having all the stuff, all the money that I make go to that person. But it's just, that is just something that, yeah, it drives me crazy. So now, before I have to blow my nose again, I'm going to really quickly wrap this up. I'm so sorry for not feeling good today and for being like this, but that's life. And, I'm real, and that is what it's what's happening right now. So it was either podcast today or not at all. And I opted to podcast. So I will hopefully talk to you again next week. I hope I will feel good, and I hope I will have stuff to show. And if not, you will get what's going on, you know. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful time and enjoy everything you do. Bye.